Hello my dear friends. So last topic applicable for whole syllabus, leasing. So leasing, you know there are two types of leases, operating lease, financing lease. We are not talking about that here. This is lease. You know lease means person who gives it on rental basis, machinery, building, property, etc. The person who get it on lease is called as lessee. The person who gives on lease is called as lessee. No, lessor. Oh, okay. Let me be more clear. The person who gives the asset on lease is called as lessor. The person who takes the asset on lease is called as lessee. Receiver is lessee. Giver is lessor. Fine. So lease, if I discuss from two persons' point of view, from lessor perspective and lessee perspective. From lessee perspective, this is a financing decision. Financing decision means, should I take it on lease or should I take it on ownership base? Should I purchase the asset? Here we are not discussing whether to buy the asset or not. That is an investment decision, that is a capital budgeting decision. Should the machine be purchased? So financing decision for lessee is what should be the source for acquiring the asset. So is it to purchase the asset or obtain the asset on lease basis? So we should choose whichever is lower. From lessor perspective, it is a investing decision. That is, should it be given on lease, or not to be given on lease. And given on lease means NPV should be more than 0. Not given on lease, NPV should be less than 0. That's all the very basics. So compute from lessee point of view, how do you evaluate? From lessor point of view, how do you evaluate? That's all very simple. Fine. Now let's see from lessee perspective. Hope you have taken down this part. Done? Okay. Now, from lessee perspective, what is the cash flow under loan option and what is the cash flow under lease option? Under loan option, cash flow will be calculated by the installment what you are going to make the payment. Installment is an outflow. Then installment includes interest. Interest is allowed for tax purposes. Interest is not taken separately. It includes part of installment. But you have to consider interest into tax benefit. Similarly, depreciation into tax benefit. Now interest tax benefit, depreciation tax benefit are benefits, whereas installment is an outflow, so I'll take it as minus. Then last year you also get salvage value. Of course, after tax you should consider. And under lease option, it is very simple, lease rental after tax, so you multiply it by 1 minus t. Now regarding discounting rate, there is one important point. Some people believe discounting rate should be cost of capital, and some people believe it should be incremental borrowing rate. So if I say cost of capital, it is after tax. Incremental borrowing rate means rate of interest. Okay, I'll just write it here. Rate of interest into 1 minus t after tax. If it is cost of capital, don't do 1 minus t. But if it is rate of interest into 1 minus t. If no information on cost of capital, you directly go for rate of interest into 1 minus t, that's become your discounting rate. If cost of capital information is given, incremental borrowing rate is also given, borrowing rate is the rate applicable for loan, then you can choose any of them as your discounting rate. But if you're using rate of interest, you should use 1 minus t. Cost of capital, don't do 1 minus t. So both the points of view exist. Some people believe cost of capital is overall cost of capital, and some people believe compute only for this particular transaction marginal cost of capital, so you should take incremental borrowing into 1 minus t. Both opinion exist, both answer will be different, just a point of view. But if cost of capital information not given, then you should go for rate of interest. And sometime installment amount will not be given. In such case, you should do loan divided by annuity factor. When you do annuity factor, don't do 1 minus t, because installment is before tax. So rate of interest, annuity factor should also be before tax. If installment not given, loan by annuity factor. In such case, interest should be calculated every year separately. Opening balance of loan plus interest minus installment, closing balance of loan. On the closing balance of loan, you apply rate of interest. Then installment, then remaining closing balance. So you have to compute the loan repayment schedule to identify the amount of interest. Sometimes they will tell you depreciation on WDV method. You know WDV method depreciation? You calculate like this. Cost, let's say 1 lakh, and rate of depreciation, let's say 10%. You'll be like cost minus depreciation for year 1, 10,000. You get WDV for year 1, 90,000, minus depreciation for year 2, 9,000. You get WDV for year 2, 81,000, minus depreciation for year 3, 8,100. WDV for year 3, 72,900, minus depreciation for year 4, 7290. Like this you calculate, right? One shortcut. What do? First year depreciation you calculate 10,000. Then multiplied by 1 minus rate of depreciation. So 1 minus 10% means 0.9. You get 9,000. Again multiplied by 0.9. You get 8,100. Again multiplied by 0.9. 7290 and so on. So shortcut for computing depreciation under WDV method. So first year you calculate depreciation, second year onwards multiplied by 1 minus rate of depreciation, you can keep on getting the next year depreciation, you will save some time. Fine. So with these basics, let's go for the problem. Question number 1. Please read question number 1. Okay. So cost of the machine given, salvage value given, useful life given, finance by 20% loan means rate of interest given. Then lease rental 12 lakh, tax rate given, depreciation WDB method. What is not given? Installment. And sir, cost of capital given, that is for lessor. Lessee cost of not capital not given. So let's see, cost of capital discounting rate will be rate of interest 20% into 1 minus tax rate 0.35. I think you get some 13% or something you get, I think. Approximately you get 13%. That is your rate of discounting for lessee. For lessor, of course, cost of capital 14%. Got it? And installment not given. So solution I have given for lessee point of view. First option, take loan and purchase the asset. Installment, loan by annuity factor. How do you compute annuity factor? 1 by rate of interest 0.2. So 1 by 1.2 press equals to 5 times GT, you get 2.991. That is how you get installment. Initial cash flow 0, because you receive 40 lakh, you give 40 lakh. So 0. Incremental cash flow, that is annual cash flow. For that purpose, you have to first compute repayment schedule. Please observe, first year on 40 lakh, 20%, 2 lakh. Installment we calculated 13 lakh 37, 345. So opening balance 40 lakh plus interest 8 lakh minus installment 13 lakh 37, 345, that will come to 34, 62, 655. On that 20% is 6 lakh 92, 531. Then opening balance 34 lakh 62, 655 plus interest 6 lakh 92, 531 minus installment 13 lakh 37, 345. Closing balance 28 lakh 17, 841. Like that you do for every year. Last year you make interest rate as balancing figure. It has to be 0. So some rounding off will be there. Last year specifically make it as 0. Fine. Next. Okay, we need these many columns. I can't help. Depreciation, I told you how do you calculate. First year 40 lakh into 25%, 10 lakh. Second year, how do you do? Shortcut, 1 minus rate of depreciation. 1 minus 0.25 means multiplied by 0.75. 10 lakh into 0.75, 7 lakh 50,000 into 0.75, 5 lakh 62,500 into 0.75, 4 lakh 21,875 into 0.75, 3 lakh 16,406. Got it? Now, we need depreciation tax benefit, interest tax benefit, both are benefit. This we will subtract, or this we will adjust with installments being outflow. So depreciation benefit, tax benefit, 10 lakh into 35%, 3 lakh 50, 7 lakh 50 into 35%, 2 lakh 62, like that every year. Then interest we have, that is 8 lakh and all, that you multiplied by 35%. 8 lakh into 35%, 2 lakh 80, 6 lakh 92, 531 into 35%, 2 lakh 42, like that. Cash flow, be careful. Column 7, benefit. Column 6, benefit minus installments. Interest, again I don't take it. Interest is including installment only. So 2 lakh 80,000 plus 3 lakh 50,000 minus 13 lakh 37, 345. That gives me 707, 345. Like that every year. Then discounting rate, I told you, 20 into 1 minus rate, interest rate into 1 minus tax rate, 13% discounting rate, you get the present value. Then last year salvage value you get, but remember, there might be tax impact. How much tax impact? On profit or loss on sale. How do you compute profit or loss on sale? Scrap value versus WDV. How do you compute WDV? 40 lakh asset minus all these depreciation. Cost minus depreciation is WDV. Or what you can do, 40 lakh is the cost of the asset. You can do 1 minus rate of depreciation 5 times because that is WDV, no remaining amount. So 1 minus 0.25, that means 0.75, 0.75, 0.75, 0.75. If you do it 5 times, you get WDV. Salvage value 8 lakh, you have a loss. When you have a loss, your tax benefit will happen. You receive tax, you don't receive tax, you save tax. So effective cash inflow is salvage value 8 lakh, tax savings 52, total 8 lakh 52, and then you multiply it by last year discounting factor, you get 4 lakh 62,589. So net effective cash flow is 0 here, minus 31, minus 4 lakh 62, minus 27 lakh 34,787, minus because it's a costing decision. Then if you take it on lease, lease rental after tax means 12 lakh into 1 minus 0.35, that is 7 lakh 80. Then discounting factor 13%, that is 3.5175, you get 27 lakh 43,650. This is nothing but sum of these discounting factor. You get 3.5175, so you get present value to be 2743. Choose whichever is cheaper. Cheaper is 2734. So decision is take loan and buy the machine. So take a look at the solution. See if you have any doubts. Got it? Now, one small observation. Do one thing for me. This depreciation tax benefit you have, right? This amount, can you multiply it by this discounting factor and give me the present value? 3,50,000 into 0.8850 equal to M plus. 2,62,500 into 0.7832 equal to M plus. 1,96,875 into 0.6931 equal to M plus. 1,47,656 into 0.6134 equal to M plus. 1,10,742 into 0.5428 equal to M plus. MRC. That number, I think 8 lakh, 9 lakh something you would have got, minus 40 lakhs. You should get this number. Sir, if it is only this much, then why did you made us do so many circus calculations? I'll tell you why it happened. Because this installment is calculated based on 20%, and this discounting factor is also 20% into after tax. So basically what you do is compounding at 20%, discounting at 20%, adjust for tax. That is nothing but 40 lakh only you get. I could have done this directly. But what if this is not 13%, you choose to do some 12% cost of capital? Then it will not add up. That's why I had to make you do this method, which is applicable for any given circumstance. Okay? So this is from lessee point of view. Just go through it for 10 seconds. We'll do from lessor point of view. Fine? Good. Let's do from lessor point of view now. Lessor point. It's very simple. Initial cash flow 4 lakh. Incremental cash flow, lease rental you get 12 lakh. Depreciation I already calculated. Same number you can make use of it. Cash flow is lease rental after tax. Lease rental into 1 minus T. Depreciation tax D into T. We discussed at the beginning of this chapter, I mean previous chapter, today itself. EBDT into 1 minus t plus depreciation into t. Hope you remember it. So 12 lakh into 1 minus 0.35 plus 10 lakh into 0.35. That is how you get cash flow of 11 lakh 30,000. Fine? Like that for every year. Discounting factor 0.877 like that. Discounting factor, remember, rate of discount it's 14%. Given cost of capital. Then you do present value. Last year terminal cash flow, same number. WDV 9 lakh 49. Salvage value 8 lakh. Same loss you get. Tax benefit 8 lakh 52. Total 8 lakh 52 into 0.59. Last year discounting factor, you get the present value. Then NPV, you get negative. Therefore, we say lease is not financially viable, not recommended. I have given the solution in the material. Please have a look at it. One more small point. One of the students asked this doubt. He says, sir, lessee also claiming depreciation, lessor also claiming depreciation. Isn't that double depreciation? No. If the buyer of the asset choose to be the owner, then he will get depreciation. He is not a lessee there. If he becomes the lessee, he is not getting depreciation. Please observe, when we did this calculation, as a lessee, you took only lease rental. You did not take depreciation. You did not took depreciation. So, as a lessee, you don't get depreciation benefit. Lessor will get it. But when you become the owner, this is the ownership option where you are not really a lessee point of view, not really a lessee. Therefore, there you can claim depreciation. Please don't think that two times you get depreciation. Not possible. Okay, next. Break-even point from lessee point of view. See, in this example, for that matter, loan option was cheaper, lease option was not cheaper. So, if you want to say, if lessor give one more lease rental, what will happen to this? You have to recalculate all these present value from beginning. Instead, why don't we compute the lease rent at which loan option and lease option both are equal, both are indifferent? So that is called as break-even lease rental. For me, I think it's better to say indifference points. So loan option divided by annuity factor. So 2734 by annuity factor into 1 minus t, annuity factor at 13%, you get 11 lakh 96, which means if lease rental is 11 lakh 96, both option is same. But in the given case, lease rental is 12 lakh, beyond the indifference point. So when it is beyond indifference point, loan option is cheaper, lease option is costlier. So you can also say this is the maximum lease rental that a lessee can afford to pay, beyond which lease become costlier and loan becomes cheaper. That's what happened here. So this solution is there, but write that one line. Right. BELR is the maximum rent, lease rent, which lessee can pay, beyond which loan option becomes cheaper. So if you represent by a way of graph, something like this, so this becomes lease rental option and this becomes loan option, and this intersection point is the break even point for lessor. So up to that point you see that loan lease option is cheaper, but after that point loan option becomes cheaper. In this case that number is 11,96,000, and in this case lease rental is above 11,96,000, therefore that became lease is not viable, not attractive. This solution is there in the material, just have a look at it. Okay, fine. Very good. Next, break even lease rental from lessor point of view. That is very simple. His NPV should become 0. Like you remember in sensitivity analysis. A break even point means no profit, no loss. So NPV should become 0. What is NPV calculation for lessor? Investment is cost of the machine. Present value of inflows means lease rental after tax, depreciation tax benefit, and salvage value. So when you compute the lease rental such a way that this equation results in 0 NPV, that is lease rental. So what is depreciation here? 10 lakh, 7 lakh 50 and all. Depreciation tax benefit is there. Discounting factor you multiply. That is the present value of tax benefit. So cost of the machine is 40 lakh. Lease rental we need to calculate. 1 minus tax rate is 0.35. Somehow discounting factor, annuity factor. And depreciation tax benefit is 7 lakh 86. Present value of salvage 8 lakh 52, discounting factor 0.8519, simplify, lease rental is 12 lakh 42. This is the minimum lease rental that lessor has to collect. If not, it is a loss for him. In the given case, BELR is 42, but the lease is 12 lakh, 12 lakh 42 is the lease rental, 12 lakh is the lease rental. Break even point is 12 lakh 42, but lease rental is 12 lakh. Below break even, it's a loss. That's why the problem concluded the lease was not financially viable. So for a lessor, break even is the minimum lease rental. For lessee, break even is the maximum lease rental. When those two numbers are different for both parties, lease is not attractive. That's what happening in this problem. So 11 lakh 96 something, 12 lakh 42 something, and 12 lakh in between. For both of them, it is beyond one number and below one number. For both of them, it is not attractive. So lease is not going to take place. So the solution is there in the material. Just take a look at it. Fine. Okay. So this actually covers the entire gambit of your leasing in one problem from lessor point of view, lessee point of view, lease, discounting rate discussion, cost of capital discussion, break-even discussion, everything we have discussed in this problem. In fact, even you can say lease rate sensitivity. From the current lease rental to break-even lease rental, the percentage change is called as lease rental sensitivity, because when lease rental changes by so much percentage, lease as a capital budgeting investment decisions becomes NPV 0, nothing but sensitivity. Anyway, leave that apart. Let's go to next question. Next question is not so very repetitive from exam point of view. It has come in the exam once. But I would say this problem asking an exam for 10 marks is not really fair. It has so many calculations. Instead, it has given some 10 tables, I think, in solution. But I try to reduce it in 2 tables, one for lessee, one for lessor. So for exam point of view, if this problem comes, don't do it. It is going to consume a hell a lot of time. Not worth it. But understanding perspective, logical perspective, very good question. So if you solve this problem, you get a lot of conceptual clarity. So let's do it. So as and when we read it, we'll discuss, then we can go ahead. Okay, let us do one thing. You read the problem once. 1 minute, read the problem. So hope you read it. I'll read once more with you. And as and when I read, since you already read it, my explanation, you should be able to understand. R Limited requires a machine for 5 years. Fine. There are 2 alternatives. Either to take it on lease or buy. So far, everything normal. The company is reluctant to invest initial amount for the project and approaches the bankers. No problem. Bankers are ready to finance 100% of the initial amount required at the rate of 15% for any of the alternative. Here comes the googly. Lease alternative, loan alternative, no problem. For loan alternative, they give you loan, charge interest, normal. Why are they financing lease alternative? It will come in the next sentence, but I wanted to you think logically. The lease will have security deposit, lease rental deposit. The deposit, where do you get the money? Bankers are providing you the loan at 15% rate of interest. Hope you got the logic. Under lease option, upfront security deposit of 5 lakh. Yes, this is the reason why they require loan. Is payable to lessor, which is equal to cost of the machine. So 5 lakh is cost of the machine also. 5 lakh is cost of the machine. Out of which, here is an interesting point, out of which 40% shall be adjusted equally against annual lease rent. How much is annual lease rent? We'll come to it. 40%, how much? 40% of 5 lakh is 40,000. No, 4 lakh, not 2 lakh, sorry. 40% of 5 lakh is 2 lakh. That should be adjusted. What do you mean by adjustment? What do you mean by adjustment? Listen to this point carefully. Lessor receives from lessee 5 lakhs today, and after 5 years, after the lease period, lessor gives back to lessee 5 lakhs security deposit. Fine? But here what is happening, 40% of the 5 lakh, lessor is not giving to lessee at the end of 5th year, but is being adjusted in the lease rental. Lessor was supposed to receive lease rental, and lessor was supposed to pay the deposit. Receive lease rental, pay deposit. Receive lease rental, pay deposit. You are doing adjustment now. How much adjustment? 2 lakh. 40% of 5 lakh means 2 lakh. Over a period of 5 years, 2 lakh by 5, which is 40,000. So whatever the lease rental that lessor is supposed to receive, 40,000 he will not receive, because it is made as an adjustment, repayment to the lessee on account of lease deposit. So whatever the lease rental minus 40,000 only will come to you. It is as good as paying the 40,000 back to the lessee. But remember, the tax benefit will be applied on the original lease rental only. I don't know what is the amount, we'll have to come to it. The tax amount don't change, because tax is not on the cash flow. Tax is on the amount of lease rental. So in this problem, lease rental, I cannot do 1 minus tax rate, because payment of lease rental minus this adjustment of 40,000 is one column, and lease rental into tax, original lease rental before adjusting 40,000 into tax rate is one column. I can't really mix these two columns because the basis of cash flows are different. At the end of the life of the machine, okay, what will happen again? On the end of the lease term, only balance 3 lakh will come to the lessee, because 5 lakh is paid at the beginning, 2 lakh is already adjusted. Balance 3 lakh only lessor will pay lessee at the end of lease term. At the end of life of the machine, expected scrap value will be equal to book value after providing depreciation 20% WDV value basis, which means no scrap value and book value both are same, no profit or loss, no tax impact. Under buying option, loan repayment is equal annual installment of principal amount. Please read that sentence once more. Equal annual installment of principal amount. Therefore, what is the amount of loan every year? Repayment, EMI. 5 lakh divided by 5. 1 lakh is principal plus interest. for whatever the period. In this case, every installment principal remains same, not the interest, so total installment will not remain same. In the previous problem or normal problem, principal plus interest, installment used to be same. In this problem, principal is same, 1 lakh per month, 1 lakh per annum, but interest will fluctuate, installment also will fluctuate. Okay. Loan payment equal to the equal amount of principal amount, which is equal to annual lease rental charges. So 1 lakh is lease rent also. So how much is going to be cash flow? 1 lakh lease rental, 40,000 adjustment. So every year cash flow will happen from lessee point of view 60,000, but tax rate, tax benefit is on 1 lakh only. So one column will be 1 lakh into tax benefit, other column will be 60,000. Okay, what will happen to 40,000? Can you tell me? Repayment. What repayment? Lessee is taking loan not only for buying the asset, but also under the lease option for security deposit. And security deposit, when it comes back after 5 years, only 60% will come. 40% is already adjusted. So at the time of repayment, at the time of 5th year, only 3 lakh will be repaid. Receive 3 lakh, pay 3 lakh. But what will happen to balance? 40,000 adjusted every year. Please understand. Very simple. Focus, concentrate. I'm a lessee. I receive 5 lakh. From the bank, I give it to the lessor as deposit. 5 lakh comes, 5 lakh goes. I receive 40,000 from lessor by way of reduction in lease rental every year. That means I'm receiving 40,000. I will pay 40,000 to lessor. I receive 40,000, pay 40,000. At the end of lease term, I get 3 lakh. I pay 3 lakh. Hope you are understanding the cash flow. Receive 5 lakh, pay 5 lakh. Receive 40,000, pay 40,000. Receive 3 lakh, pay 3 lakh. So whatever I get from the bank, I give it to the lessor. Whatever I get from the lessor, I give it to the bank. Of course, in between I have to pay interest. That will calculate. And other words, lease rental 1 lakh. 60,000 I pay to the lessor. 40,000 I pay to the bank. 1 lakh is my effective outflow. Anyway, read further. However, in the cash and bank lease option, repayment of principal amount equal to lease rent adjust every year. That's what I'm telling. 40,000 is being adjusted. And the balance at the end of 5th year, assume tax rate 30, interest payable at the end of every year, following discount rate given. What option would you suggest? The best option I would suggest for this problem is go to next problem. Don't solve this. It's too much of calculations. But from a understanding perspective, very nice problem. So take a look at the solution. I've given the screenshot in the solution. Just understand. So loan installment 1 lakh. Initial cash flow 5 lakh you get. 5 lakh you pay 0. Every year cash flow on 5 lakh 15% 75,000. So installment is 1 lakh principal plus 75,000 installment interest. So 1 lakh 75,000. Next year on what amount you get balance? Out of 5 lakh, 1 lakh principal is paid. So it became 4 lakh. Or what you can do? 5 lakh plus 75,000 minus 1 lakh 75,000. Both way you get 4 lakh. On 4 lakh 15%, 60,000. So 1 lakh plus 60,000, 1 lakh 60,000. Out of 4 lakh, 1 lakh principal is paid. Balance is 3 lakh. On 3 lakh, 15%. On 2 lakh, 15%. On 1 lakh, 15%. All these interest plus installment, 1 lakh principal, that is installment amount. Then same calculation, depreciation, 5 lakh into 20%, 1 lakh into 1 minus rate of depreciation into 0.8. 1 lakh into 0.8 into 0.8 into 0.8 into 0.8. You get these numbers. Then depreciation tax benefit multiplied by 30%. So 1 lakh into 30%, 80 into 30%, 64 into 30%, 51 into 30%, 49, 60 into 30%. Interest tax benefit 75,000 into 30%, 60,000 into 30%, 45,000 into 30%, 30,000 into 30%, 15,000 into 30%. Cash flow, the 7th column interest tax benefit Depreciation tax benefit minus installment, you get cash flow multiplied by discounting factor, you get present value, and last year WDV and salvage value both are same they said, so zero loss, zero profit, no tax impact, and only salvage value will come 1,63,840, that you multiplied by last year discounting factor, you get net cash flow under loan option. Clear? Nice. Now if you take it on lease, it would be very simple in the previous problem, but here it is not. 5 lakh you receive loan, 5 lakh you pay deposit, net amount. Please observe, here also loan repayment will come, and that is more important. Okay. So 5 lakh loan you take, 15%, 75,000. Installment will be 75,000 plus 40,000. Please observe, 75,000 plus 40,000. 40,000 is the amount of lease deposit adjusted against rent, and that is the amount of principal I have to pay to the bank as a principal repayment. Interest 75 plus 40,000, 1,15,000. So from 5 lakh minus 40,000 means 4,60,000. On 4,60,000 you apply 15%. Okay, you get 69. Then 69,000 plus 40,000. 40,000 remains constant. 1,09,000. You get 4,20,000 remaining. So 4,60,000 minus 40 is 4,20,000. So 4,20,000 into 15%. 3,80,000 into 15%. 3,40,000 into 15%. Please observe how come last became 0. It was actually 3 lakh, right? 3,40,000 minus 40,000, 3 lakh. But last year 3 lakh I get back from lesser. Security deposit back, 5 lakh minus 40%. 3 lakh I get back, I paid to bank, 3,40,000 becomes 0. 40,000 that year and 3 lakh return, net amount becomes 0. And lease rental is 1 lakh, 1 lakh lease rental, 1 lakh lease rental minus 40,000, 60, 60, 60, 60, and tax benefit don't do on this amount. On 1 lakh into 30%, 30,000 each, interest 75,000 into 30%, 69,000 into 30%, 63 into 30, 57 into 30, 51 into 30. Cash flow will be, you will have the interest tax benefit, lease rental tax benefit, lease rental is outflow and installment is outflow. So this is inflow, this lease rent also is on inflow, lease rental is outflow and installment is also outflow. So net amount you get these amounts. I'll just show you the first calculation. 22,500 plus 30,000 minus 60,000 minus 1,15,000. That will give you minus 1,22,500, like that every column. Discounting factor 15%, present value you get. 3 lakh you receive from the lesser and 3 lakh you give it to the bank. So 3 lakh will set off. I am not showing that. Present value come to 3,86,000, whichever is cheaper. So the loan option became cheaper because only 2,97,000, that is much lesser. Therefore we say that loan option, buying option is cheaper over lease option. Very nice problem. Just take a look at this. 2 minutes, see if you have any doubts. 2 minutes. Nice question from practical understanding point of view. Okay, nice. So one more problem, just as a slightly different flavor. It came in the exam. That also for 10 marks, but that can be done in 3 minutes. One of the easiest problem. This also came for 10 marks. It will take 3 hours also, I think. So that's a slightly different flavor problem. Let's do it once. I've given solution, so just read it, sufficient. P Limited has decided to acquire a machine costing 50 lakhs through leasing. Quotation from 2 leasing companies have been obtained, which are summarized below. Quote A, quote B. Lease term 3 years, 4 years. Hold on. So far we have done comparison of lease option with loan option. And previous problem we did loan and lease versus loan and purchase option. This problem is regarding 2 leases, lease A or lease B. And that too, one is having 3 years, other is having 4 years. 4 years. Sorry. What do you do when lease term is different? Unequal life. How did we convert? You compute the present value, divide by the annuity factor, you get EAC, equated annual cost. You choose whichever is cheaper. That concept to be applied here. Read further. Initial lease rent. What do you get in your mind? Initial lease rent. Most of you, I'm sure you would have told initial deposit. That is not right. Rent. What is the difference between deposit and rent? Deposit comes back to you. It's not an expense. Initial lease rent means payment at the beginning, like a token advance you pay in normal life. And that will not come to you. It's not a deposit. It's a rent paid, gone expense. But initial lease rent, which means, be careful, pay focus. Please be attentive. Initial lease rent means the payment will take place today, tax benefit will come at the end of the year. So you can't do 1 minus T directly. You can't do 1 minus T directly. Payment will take place today, tax benefit will come at the end of the year, which means I can't do 1 minus T at the same time. Payment I take directly for present value, but tax benefit, because happens at the year end, I need to discount it. Be careful. Annual lease rental payable in arrears, that's fine. P Limited evaluates investment proposal at 10%, cost of capital, effective tax rate 30%. Terminal payment in both cases negligible, may be ignored, should be ignored. Make calculation which quote is beneficial. Present value factors at 10% for 4 years are given. Calculation may be rounded off 2 decimals, should be rounded off. So take a look at the solution. Initial lease rental present value only 5 lakh 1 lakh, but tax benefit which I need to subtract is 5 lakh, tax benefit 30%, but because takes place after year 1, discount it, first year discounting factor. This is outflow, so tax benefit is minus, like 1 minus T. So this is 1 lakh, tax rate 30%, annuity factor, discounting factor 0.91. Annual lease rental 21.06, this you can do 1 minus tax rate, 1 minus 0.3, 0.7. And annuity factor for how many years? 3 years, that is 0.91, 0.83, 0.75. Add all the 3, you get 2.49, 36.71. Then 19.66 into 0.7, 1 minus tax rate, 1 minus 0.3 is 0.7. Then add all the 4-year discounting factor, you get 3.17. This cash flow, net total payment. So you do the present value 5 minus 1.365 plus 36, 1 minus 0.273 plus 43. You get these two numbers. This cannot be used for direct comparison. Divide by annuity factor, that is respective annuity factor, 3 years annuity factor and 4 year annuity factor. You get EAC. Then you choose whichever is cheaper, EAC cost. So code B is cheaper. This also 10 marks question, but lease versus lease, so slightly offbeat question. came in 2010 can come 2020, 10 years later. Government would have changed. History can change. History can repeat itself. Okay, so that is your discussion on leasing with different varieties of problems. In my opinion, this is sufficient to face examination. So please go through it, read well, happy studying, all the best.